Shaba, and this is my story. As most of you might know, LG Maasai is a musician from Kenya who has been in the gospel industry for a few years, has won many awards in the country and outside the country, internationally, if I may say. And basically, I'm an artist and I'm a creative. I know many people consider me as a veteran in the music industry, or say a legend. I don't know. I'm not in the position to say that. Maybe you guys would be able to say that. But as for me, I just see myself as a hardworking artist. Everything that I've achieved or I achieve, I always feel like there's more to come, and I've not really gotten to where I need to the peak of where I need to be. You understand? And so that's why I keep working hard every day and every night, sleepless nights, to make sure that I love music and I love my career and I love. There's nothing that can stop me from doing music, regardless. So that's why I keep working hard. I'm always motivated, and I'm always, I always have the psych to give the fans out there, you fans out there, the best of LJ Maasai at any given day, at any given time, whether it's on performances or videos or audios, interviews, whatever. I'm always out to give my best. So people say that LJ Maasai rose to fame quite quickly in the music industry, generally, because I came out of nowhere. You guys were not expecting this Maasai guy from Narok, who was a Herds boy, to just become, a renowned name, if I may say, or an artist who's winning awards and everything. Because I used to, basically, before I got to that point, I was singing in vernacular, playing vernacular, which is something that, if I may say, the media did not embrace as much. But I managed to break that ground, and got my music to the mainstream media and into winning awards as well and all that. So let me say, many people have seen LJ Maasai at the top. Okay, they've seen me grow. You guys have seen me grow from zero to, I don't know, I won't even say hero, but you've seen me grow from zero. And at some point, on my side of the story, is that people did not notice the point where LJ Maasai was really, actually, if I may use the word, suffering. Yani, it was not easy for me. It got very difficult for me in the industry. I went through depression and all these things, and anxiety, and that was caused by a lot of things that were happening in my life. Yani, vitu mingi zilikuwa zinafanyika kwa life yangu, sikuwa najielewa. And as a musician, and because of that name, and I won't call it pride, but I want to keep that energy that guys have towards LJ Maasai. I won't even lie, it's not just me, but many artists tend to hide that through showing flashy stuff and living like they're living a flashy life. But most percentage of them are actually faking it, and I won't lie, I won't mention names, but it's the truth. And that's why I'm here today, to just tell you what's been happening with LJ Maasai, because everyone's been asking, where has LJ Maasai been? So basically, guys started saying that LJ Maasai has exited the gospel industry. At LJ, I backslide, eti afanye mziki vile alikuwa anafanya kitambo, sikuzi atoe mziki as frequently as alikuwa anatoa before. But people did not understand why this was happening to me, and why this was happening to the person they always saw on TV, always heard on radio, always saw in interviews, and social media was updated every few hours. And now I can actually nilikuwa nakaa sasa when I was going through what I was going through, I could stay up to like what 5 days, even up to a month sometimes. I remember when I took a social media break for almost 6 months, and that's when actually my Instagram account, was Facebook and Instagram account, were hacked, but I managed to retrieve the Facebook one. And you know, guys were like, hey, where is this LJ Maasai? Has he left gospel or what is he doing? And so at that point is when I was really frustrated. I was really yani nilikuwa nimechoka, una understand, na watu wange understand kama sija explain. And when I came out on Facebook the other day and on my social media, if I may say, to explain what has been happening to me, because I was receiving messages and calls from different people, and wananiuliza kwani ngoma mpya, kwani ulienda wapi, mazee siurudi, tunakumiss ni nini. They didn't understand what I was going through, because most of the time we artists, and I don't just mean like musicians, I'm talking about comedians. Actually, I'm talking about all-round careers, if I may say that, because ukishai kwa place fulani ama watu kubebe in a certain way, lazima utry kusustain your level, una understand. And I looked at the industry and I was like, mbona watu wanaogopa? Everyone is afraid. I know people personally who have gone through like serious suffering, guys who've tried to commit suicide, guys who've gone, wameenda mashambani, wamequit mziki, unapata. Yani they are totally at the lowest points in their careers. And I was like, why is no one speaking out? And that's when I decided, let me just speak out, because at the end of the day, I'm not the only one who has been facing or was facing this kind of situation. So, and that's why I said, you know, LJ Maasai speaks, let me just speak to everyone and be the one to just talk. And because I know my youth wengi, na hata si my youth peke yake, by the hata ma politicians who face frustration, unapata. And I think for me it's about mental health. And at this point I felt, if I don't come out and be the change, then who will come out? I can't just sit and wait for someone to speak out so that I speak out. So let me just speak out and you know, explain to people what has been happening and what's going on, and so that people also understand that musicians, artists, whether comedian, whichever career you're in, like, we're all humans, we all face things in life. You know, some people, yes, are successful, bado wako sawa, wanakuanga tu sawa, lakini unaona wakipost pale, you know, when someone is really successful and they've been successful for a long time and they're just posting, you know, the lavish, kitu kama hiyo lifestyle, inapatia wase pressure, but people don't understand that. Inapatia wasanii wengine pressure, ama career people pressure. So una feel, mimi nikipost niko sasa naishi kwa nyumba ya mabati na nilikuwa kwa apartment fulani sijui Kilimani ama Lavington, wana feel like, you know, nimejishusha sana, I've lowered myself, I've stooped too low. So we tend to fake it. And you know me, I decided I'm not gonna fake it. I'll be truthful, so people understand I'm also human, and you know, tunaweza saidiana pia at the end of the day. Well, most of the time, unajua, as a public figure or as someone prominent, if I may use that word, unakuanga na mtu anakusupport. Inaweza kuwa a lady, your wife, inaweza kuwa sponyo, inaweza kuwa anyone. And when you lose that person, hapo sasa ndio breaking point, unanipata. So for me, what happened with my relationship, because mepatia question sana waswani with the relationship zako kwani ni aje. Once you were with this girl, then tulikuwa tunajua hii you end up marriage, and then kidogo you're with this other one, and then suddenly you're not together. For me, I guess it reached a point enye nilifika nikasema, actually si kusema, but nilishindwa kujicontrol, nilishindwa kuhandle. relationship na life vile inanipeleka. I understand because pia relationship ina pressure, napata. So ikifika hiyo point, me I'm very self kept, yani mi nakuanga msee sipendi kubonga, nanipata. So mimi nikigo through shida, mi ujiekea, siambiangi watu, I don't talk to people, actually keep quiet na disappear, hautanionaona, nanipata. So for me ilikuwa sasa inafanya na distant from my relationships, nanipata, including my own mom's relationship. Me and my mom actually had a long battle, yani ya mother son relationship. As you know, I'm the only son. I became rebellious because, you know, she's trying to advise me and tell me do this, and she's trying to tell me, ananiambia niaje, okay, yeah, ananipatia motherly advice ni try, but mi naona ni kama mother anielewi, nanipata, because ya ile situation niko mentally, yani I'm in a state where I don't even understand. I'm trying to figure out myself, but at the same time I cannot, nanipata. Siwezi figure out, like nafanya tu vitu zenye hata zi make sense, na nikipe mtu akitry kunipe advice na feel wewe ujui hata ujui mali nimetoka ndo nifike hii point niko, so why come advise me at this time? And I understand, not just only my mother, but okay, my mom knew me from day one, yes, but kuna watu pia wame come through, nilikuwa nao relationships, wana try kuni advice, mimi nawaambia niache tu, let me just deal with my stuff by myself, and understand, and it becomes very difficult to deal with such you know, mental nini, lakini yani ni kitu inasumbua kichwa sana, ni hard ku deal nayo ukiwa one man. Sometimes you need someone to talk to and to advise you, but when you're in that situation, sometimes mtu kama mimi mwenye na kuanga tu self preserved, yani nilishindwa kabisa. So we didn't even speak with my mom for, I don't know, I think it was 6 months. She replied message zake, she received calls, I'm not calling her, you know. And actually for that na feel mbaya sana, it really hurts me deeply. You know, when I came to the realization that nimekosa sana, and you know, I should have been listening, I should have followed advice as before, ilini hurt sana, and anyway, at least right now we're good with my mother. So with all these things happening in my life, and when I say things, first of all, around 2018, my very dear grandpa passed away. I was very close to him, and that just took a piece of my heart away. Now, shortly later, tukakuwa na issues na basically investor wa my record label TNC, that was, and then we had to shut it down. And then soon after that, Corona hit. So it was a span of like 3-4 years of serious issues zenye I did not, yani they were pushing me to the wall, the issue after issue every time, and kuna zingine hata sija mention. There's just so many things happening around, and I was like, wow, siwezi handle this stuff. I broke out with my management, yani there were so many issues around me, and I was like, wow, mimi sasa sijui nianze wapi, nifanye nini. So that's how I got into depression. I started gaining anxiety, mpaka nikaenda hosi. You know, doctors didn't understand what was wrong with me because nakuwa tu sick, hawaelewi gonjwa iko wapi, nothing was being found. And kidogo broke up with my girlfriend, and it became just too much for LJ, and LJ could not be the LJ you guys know at that point. You know, unajua nyinyi mnaonanga LJ ule, that LJ you always see on TV, media, whatever. but there's also that personal LJ, that real me. I'm not saying LJ Maasai is fake, but kuna ile personal, vitu personal. And then mimi mnajua mimi, I don't really talk about my personal life so much. This is the only one time nimeamua, yani let me just speak out. And at that point I didn't know what to do. Nimekosana na madhe, to add to the story, and yani all hell was breaking loose. And I got into intoxication, you understand, because of anxiety, depression, and I just frustration. Nothing was working out. Sasa corona imeingia, mziki ilikuwa ngumu, you understand. Ndio hizo yani vitu za life zote, hadi landlord wangu tunapigana tu almost every day juu siwezi hata fika ya kulipa, so it's always a fight. I got tired, and I got into bad company. I became an alcoholic for a while. Nilitry vitu kadhaa, acha niseme tu hivyo, and it really affected my life in two ways, I might say. Of course, what we say, alcohol upunguza stress, but at the same time I would say alcohol saved my life at some point, because this is when I was at that point where I wanted to commit suicide. I was done. Nilikuwa nimechoka tu na life, kila kitu. Nothing was working out. And I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Siwezi shindaga tu hivi kila time. Sina kitu nafanya, niko tu kwa stone natulia tu. So I had suicidal thoughts. In fact, I attempted 3 times. And if I am explain how alcohol saved my life, it's because yani nilizima ndio nisimeze sumu, you understand. Nilikuwa nishaikoroga iko hapo, nikasema acha nichape shot ya mwisho ndio nichape hii sumu sana ni dead, but I blacked out. So in the morning when I woke up, nikakuwa self-conscious, and then I found that I had spilled the poison. So hapo nikiambia msee unajua alcohol save life yangu, na mwambia acha ujinga, lakini it's actually true. It's a true story. And for me it's not my path of way, but I was just overwhelmed. I didn't know who to talk to. Not that I didn't have people to talk to, but I didn't know who to trust at that point. I didn't know who was, not even family wise, not even industry wise, not even friends, as in nilikuwa tu nashindwa nani hata nikiongea na huyu atanisaidiaje kwa zile shida napitia, unaona, because niko like okay, hii time yote nimedo most things. I'm very I really push myself on my own, na kwanga na muji persuade, muji push mimi mwenyewe, na nikifeel hakuna mtu unipea motivation, as in akuje aniamsha asubuhi 6 anambia niaje toka tunafaa kwenda place fulani to do kitu fulani. It's always because I'm motivated to do what I want to do, and I want to achieve yani my dreams, unapata, is why I always wake up early in the morning, or I used to wake up early in the morning, and now I do. So yani ilifika 2 point I was so done, I had no option, but luckily sijui God alitumia alcohol, sijui kama hiyo statement ni right, but I was gonna leave the world at that point, because I was just done for real. And when I speak about this story, even on my Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, guys feel like it's LJ Maasai looking for sympathy, to come back to the industry or something. No. I've never looked for sympathy in my career. I've always been hardworking, and I think many people can attest to that. And I always just put out my best, and you guys have always appreciated, and I really thank you for that. But most people do not understand where that drive comes from. It has to come from within, and if you don't have it, no one can push you to do it or to achieve it. Understand? And so guys started questioning also about me leaving the gospel industry or ministry, and I've always insisted that I am a staunch Christian, raised by a mother who taught me Sunday school. And for me, I believe salvation is a conviction. You understand? You cannot be pushed into salvation. Someone can preach the word to you for even 30 years, but bado kama hujapata conviction ya kuwa saved, me personally I believe it's a waste of time and energy. So for me, when I gave into salvation, or when I accepted Jesus as my personal savior, it was my personal choice. You understand? No one pushed me into it. Yes, I was raised in Christianity, but I was not saved until the day I decided I want to get saved. You understand? And so for me, leaving gospel industry, the ministry and the industry, I think for me is a very it's not really a question, because I don't understand, is it because of my behavior or because of the music I'm releasing? Because I think people have judged more because of me releasing love songs during this period, or the previous period, and mi nilikuwa tu naambia kitu moja, there's love in the Bible, and actually it's the biggest commandment, and I don't think I've released any dirty song per se that you can call secular. I've just released a love song. So even speaking about gospel, my latest song, which I released like a month ago, Bila Wewe, it's gospel, and so I don't think I can sing gospel if I'm not saved, honestly speaking. As I said, salvation is conviction. And even my next song, it's still gospel, and I'll still continue doing gospel. And for me, it's all about music. So if I feel like today God has told me, has spoken to me to sing about a love song, as long as it's not dirty, I think for me, I feel like it's fine. So anyway, for anything that's coming up next, just stay tuned to my channel. Thank you guys for listening. This is LJ Maasai, and that was my story.